Okay, we're back. I did say I'd be playing Disgaea today. I'm actually going to do it. I'm doing a playthrough of this on the channel for the fun. So if you're not interested, then obviously, yikes. You obviously came here for the fight ends. But I did say that I'm going to start cutting down on lots and lots of fight ends and show other stuff too. Because I do like JRPGs, and this is one of them. Plus, I'm going to be streaming D5, so it was a good idea to get some practice in. Considering I've not played this game properly for a long time. Let's have a look around. Okay, I don't think there's any treasure. Hey, the plank face, how's it going?
Found you.
Well, well, Prince. I thought I told you I don't have time to waste with you. That being said, and although they were low-class demons, I'm surprised you were able to get through so many of them. As foolish as you are, I'll chalk that up to the fact that you are King Krichevskoy's son.
How could you destroy the Overlord statues like that?
How could you? That's what I'd like to ask you. Using your father's notoriety to claim the title of Overlord and performing tyrannical acts for your own benefit. You are nothing short of evil to us. You are as foolish as King Krichevskoy was wise. You have zero qualities of an Overlord. I cannot allow your tyranny to continue.
Is that why you destroyed the statues?
Precisely. However, this is only the beginning. We will force you to forfeit the throne and leave the Overlord's castle.
Fool! No one can order me to do anything. I, the Overlord, make my own decisions about everything.
How many demons in the Netherworld would agree with what you just said?
You could probably count them all on one hand.
Oh, shut up!
At the very least, you'll have to convince me if you want to call yourself the Overlord.
You are just my old man's vassal. Don't act so cocky. If you aren't convinced, then let me demonstrate the absolute power I wield as the Overlord.
Oh well, I suppose I have no choice. It is the responsibility of an adult to punish bad children. I shall discipline you.
So Grosso's an ass. Let's see, which method do I want to go with? Scumbaggery sounds good.
Here I go! Here I go!
Let's have fun.
And there! Hey, look!
Leave it to me.
I have no name to give.
Insolent.
As I said, that's it.
Single point piercing. This is good. Single point piercing.
Look up to me!
How's that?
This is good.
Look up to me!
There.
I'm so
That's fine.
This is good.
Mahalo dying actually isn't too much of an issue. He's the easiest one to level in the game. Why so silent? Just thinking. So yeah, I let Laharo die. But that's fine, because as I said, he's really easy to level. Now, Disgaea D2 is the worst one, dude. By miles. That game was terrible.
This is good.
And then maybe one day I'll actually get around to streaming the game you just mentioned. Could totally stream Makai Kingdom. These guys are not gonna come forward at all. So yeah, to those who I wondered yesterday why I do this, and if you didn't see it, the reason why you do the tower stuff so early on is so you can use all of the skills later. We're up to Shadon. Too far away. This guy sucks.
Let's go.
Fine by me. There we go.
Don't think that you've won.
Why not? I wiped the floor with you.
Prince, I think this is the part where we just roll our eyes and listen to his pitiful excuses.
Huh. So, do you accept me as the Overlord now?
You don't get it, do you? It doesn't matter if you possess ultimate power. You still don't have what it takes to be the Overlord.
Fool! All an Overlord needs is to be powerful. Therefore, I, the strongest demon in the Netherworld, have everything it takes to be a great Overlord.
Like I said before, I can't accept you as King Krichevskoy's successor. Enjoy playing Overlord, for now.
Aw, he ran away. So, what do you want to do now?
Get the Prinnies to find out where he's working from. As soon as they find it, let's wreak some havoc.
Understood.
Laharo, what kind of person was Krichevskoy?
That was way out of left field.
Since that demon said you're nothing like King Krichevskoy, I've been wondering what made him such a great person.
I don't know. I never tried to know. Let's go back to the Overlord's castle.
All right.
What's all the commotion?
We've got big trouble. Please, take a look at this.
Huh? What is this?
I don't know, but we need to do something about it before something bad happens.
We are in dire need of a worthy overlord as soon as possible. Call in all of our officers. There's no time to waste.
Yes, sir.
What are they up to? Damn angels.
To end the tyranny of evil,
Yeah, it did. That was Japanese audio.
the super cute demon gal Etna has descended upon this netherworld.
Hey!
Using her vassal, fallen angel Flan as a shield, Etna dashes through wave after wave of demon attacks.
That's just cruel!
Stop right there, evil overlord Laharl. All your fame and riches belong to me now.
What a selfish bitch.
Next time on Demon Gal Etna Dimension 2, Episode 2, The Birth of Overlord Etna. A new history begins now.
Stop with all the lies.
Muka, you weebo. See, I didn't put the Japanese one on for this because the original game didn't have a Japanese voiceover, if I remember right. Either that or I just played it in English because I actually like the voices.
Not yet, but the Prinny should be back right about now.
Laharo, there's a package for you from Celestia.
From Celestia? Isn't it just something for you?
It's probably just another morphing belt or more ranger figures. I really can't stand to look at that junk, so can you stop collecting them at the Overlord's castle?
No! I live for those things! But anyway, this isn't for me. The delivery printy said it
I've
was-
played the Guided Fight Paradox. I've also got the new one and I've not played that yet at all. I bought it when it came out and I've not touched it. My backlog is massive.
I see. For the Overlord, huh? And it must be for me.
He's so simple.
Anyway, isn't it strange that Laharo is getting something from Celestia?
I've got a bad feeling about this.
What the?
An angel! It's an angel! It was hard to breathe in there. Took you long enough.
Who the hell are you?
My name is Cicely. I'm here to become the Overlord.
Episode 2. The arrival of the mysterious angel girl, Cicely. You? An angel? Becoming the Overlord? Don't be stupid.
I'm not being stupid. I am for real. That's why I came to the Overlord's castle.
Why were you shipped in a package?
Good question. So I wouldn't get lost on the way.
Aren't I a genius?
I see.
No. If anything, that was pure stupidity.
A puny little idiot angel like you doesn't have what it takes to be the Overlord.
You're really bossy. What gives you the right to say that?
Hey,
Hello!
He's lovely.
hello.
Contrary to how he looks, he's actually the Overlord.
There is nothing contrary about it, Flan. I look like the Overlord from any angle.
What? Really? I was picturing someone much bigger.
That's what most people would think.
In that case, let me begin with
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Spot is Overlord.
Back for a bit.
You're back to Disgaea goodness?
Yes. Although I've never played one of these games before.
The best series, man. The best.
I've always been interested, and always been, you know, I've played some other NIS strategy RPGs, but never a Disgaea game.
The Disgaea series is their best series. It's the one that makes them all the monies.
Right. I mean, it made them. I think this was the first game they brought over.
The first game
Or maybe-
the first game they released in the West was Mackay Kingdom.
Okay. And did they do La Pusille Tactics as well before?
La Pucelle and Phantom.
Decision, isn't it?
Phantom.
The Phantom Brave was.
Yeah, that's
I remember that's the one I actually own. Well, I've heard people don't think very highly of it.
Phantom Brave is terrible.
I see that. What don't you like about it?
The character creation system, you make your characters out of plants and stuff. It's really random as hell.
Yes, rocks,
Yeah.
weapons. It's pretty weird.
The game is odd. The
It's
characters
just a
are great
fun
though,
game.
I have to admit. The characters are pretty great.
Hmm.
Stop! She's just a little girl.
And there's not a grid-based system,
No.
which is
It
additionally
uses
weird.
the only one that had a grid-based system was La Pucelle. That was the first one with a grid-based system.
Oh, there's not one in these games.
Mackay King. Oh, this has a grid-based system.
Violent, but I didn't think they
But the first one was La Pucelle, where you could charm the monsters and make them fight for you. That was pretty legit.
Always a good power to have.
Play rock, paper, scissors with Mecha on stream. First to 10.
That would be riveting, absolutely riveting viewing.
I could just imagine like asking Twitch for the rock paper scissors game.
Going.
and all that the screen would show would just be
Two
Your
hands.
that's it. No full shots.
Yeah, sure, just, yeah.
It'd be like the most boring stream ever.
It's
It'd be like the worst thing on Twitch.
It'd be so good.
It would go down in the Twitch history books as
It
being
would.
the absolutely worst stream in the history of anything. I'd probably win awards for it too, Jesus.
Fuck. I need to call that bitch.
Oh no,
Sorry.
what's a bitch?
My doctor is a bitch.
I thought you said that was until next week. Okay.
Yeah, it's next week, but I have to call her to say like, I'll be here.
that sounds
Don't mind me, I'll be here.
sounds like a thing you say to people in general.
Cause she's so fucking, like, she has so many clients, patients, whatever you want to call them. She's overbooked everywhere, so you have to tell her like 10 days before you go that you will yell at her and you're like, I'll be there! Don't give the room to someone else, I'll be there.
Oh dear.
So
Is
yeah,
this,
that's how it works.
physical therapy or something?
No,
like
not
that?
physical therapy.
Okay.
That I go in 2 days, and I don't have to take appointments. Like I already have them settled like every week.
Okay.
That's cool. Rock, paper, scissors, fighting diamonds, unbreakable, best fight wonder. Okay.
Is this the mental emotional stuff?
Yep.
This particular doctor? Okay. And you don't like your therapist?
No, I like her, but she's nice. But
Oh, but the administrative bullshit.
I don't like to call people. I hate the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah, I hear you.
really?
It's a weird relationship. Like, I always hated, like, the fact that, like, the not therapy part of
Yeah,
interaction
yeah.
with my therapist, like the money exchanging hands and like the business. I'm just like, shouldn't someone else do this so that you don't like piss me off or something?
True.
Oh dear.
I mean, the relationship we have is supposed to be all positive.
You will do her that she looks sexy. She's like 55. P-Blade.
Well, that's a thing.
Let's chill. And on the second part, I'm asexual, so no.
Wait a minute.
Thank you.
You're asexual.
He is, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I thought the Borgalia thing was a serious thing.
God damn it, people! It can be serious without being sexual.
Okay, so it's a serious platonic relationship.
If you want. Where's my phone? Call that however you want. 55. Yeah, 55. It's great. Oh, and Shoegazer and P-Blade wanted us last time to say dirty stuff on stream.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And Mickey was like, no, no, don't.
I don't need any of that around here. We're a family-friendly stream for the most part.
True.
Except when we call our doctors bitches.
Except for when we're messing with everything, yeah.
Yeah, but that's different.
I know. I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm also kidding. Don't worry. Wow, your phone is so dead. I have 2% of fucking battery, and I have missed calls everywhere. Missed calls. Sorry.
You have a marriage proposal, Mecca.
I've always got the marriage proposal, but I'll have to say no.
Yeah, I'm not into polygamy, so I also have to say no.
Hope she didn't call me.
I'm just not really into shoes.
But what about shoegaze?
That's even worse.
No.
How dare you? Shoegaze is great.
Vorgelia already has my love.
The only love you're gonna get, shoegazer, is, you know,
That much.
the only type of love a mother could only give.
You never know. In real life, maybe he's the ladies' man. You just don't know.
Yo, shoegazer, tell me who your girlfriend is, so I can tell her to leave you alone.
He has no girlfriend. He can't give his heart to one woman. He's for all the women, everywhere.
Oh no, don't let him do it.
Okay, so I don't have a missed call from her. That's cool.
Have I got room for a strapping young Mancunian? Of course.
Yeah, call the Shadon.
Don't know who that guy is like. Strapping, young, where? I thought it was just us old fogies that took part in this stream.
Okay, the last call I received was like from the 22nd of July. I think I'm good.
Evening, gang.
There we go, we've got a Mancunian.
Yo, dog.
Hey guys, how you doing?
You sound
Fine,
low
mate.
again, you need to fix your microphone, sir.
I don't know what keeps happening with my microphone settings. I think Skype is just losing its mind.
Skype doesn't love you.
Well, let me see. Automatically adjust microphone settings. That might work.
Maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, whatever. How you all doing?
Grinding.
All right.
Oh, hey, Doc.
Hey, Shadon.
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
You have right. People, can I just point out? Right, I have no shame in saying this. People have said that I have an amazing voice, but the Doc has got a voice.
What? Please.
The voice.
Even when he says "please," come on.
The Doc has
Thank you.
the voice.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm quite fond of Destic's voice myself.
Oh god, no, please.
It's
people,
happening.
Get out.
I told him he needed to start a podcast. I would listen to it. Just
Okay,
in-
between you and Vorgelia and the 30 fucking French people are like, please say something to us! Ah! You guys need to chill.
just
You know what we
record
need?
yourself reading
We
the
need-
dictionary in French.
We need a
Oh, yeah.
Destic soundboard.
Yes.
The Distic
it's already-
soundboard would just be
it's-
full of French, though.
It's already a thing, Shadon.
Why have I not done? What am I doing with my life?
Someone, a French person, made an album of my voice.
I'll just have to like get it and create an application out of it.
You could
And,
make yourself rich out of that.
I got money out of that. I gave him back, but he got money. Stupid French people bought it. Even though it's for free. They were like, okay, let's give him money. Like, why am I getting money for my stupid ass voice? That doesn't make any sense.
Look right.
It's
Christina
so
V. Christina V has made a career on voicing the same character in everything that she's been in, with the exception of Magica. So if she can make a career out of saying everything in the exact same voice, then yeah, you can too.
True, to be fair.
Yeah, but I don't have the voice. I don't like my voice anyway. Sounds stupid.
There.
I disagree.
Shut up.
Your voice sounds like your voice.
Yeah, well, yeah, it does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Job done. Right, there we are.
I don't think anyone is a fan of their own voice.
No, I don't think anybody likes their own voice.
I'm a fan of my own voice when I've gargled whiskey.
Pokemon, if you're having issues watching a stream, watch on YouTube.
You don't have to like it. The point is, others do.
That's why I stream on YouTube now. Just watch it on YouTube. It'll make your life easier.
Yep. Do it. Do it. Gibbs, I've had my first round of injections.
Oh no.
Don't worry, I'm not dying.
My heart started to beat faster.
He's got 2 more rounds of injections to go.
You want me to read something in French?
3 more, oh god.
Yeah, I've got 3 more rounds to go.
It's
fine.
Were they painful or?
No.
Oh good.
I have me asking what's.
Well, I was discussing that
wrong?
with the nurse actually, because I have a tattoo on each of my arms, and I said to her, I'd feel kind of embarrassed if I was like, oh no, a needle, well, having had tattoos on the arms. You know, be a bit of a hypocrite. They're like, oh yeah, I can have a tattoo, no problem. Needles, no. So.
All right.
No, it's fine.
2 questions. 1, what are your tattoos?
I have 1 dragon on each arm. One of them's red and one of them's yellow and green.
Cool. And then why are you getting injections?
I would like to say it's because I've been accepted into the Super Soldier program at long last.
Right. Yes. That's what I assume.
Sadly, that's not the case. What it is, Doc, is that I, in 2010, signed up to the Anti-Nolan Bone Marrow Register. And I had an email about 4 or 5 weeks ago saying, we found someone who is in need of a stem cell transplant from your bone marrow, who is a match for your tissue type. Would you please be willing to donate? And I was like, right, let me roll up my sleeves. Let's go.
Yes. Well, good man. That's really good of you.
The man's doing God's work.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck that. No. I'm not doing God's work. I'm just doing work. No God involved in this. But, yeah, so what they're doing, Doc, is, normally, like, when you do bone marrow transplants, like, everyone thinks, like, you have a needle the size of a small tree jabbed into your leg or something, to extract the marrow directly. But what they do in modern times now is that they give you these injections of a drug that causes the stem cells to exit your bone marrow and enter your bloodstream. And then all they do after 4 sessions of this is they hook you up to a machine, like a dialysis machine, get a tube going out of one arm, goes into the machine, filters out the stem cells, centrifuges the blood, pumps it back out, and it goes into a tube that goes in your other arm. And that's how they filter out the stem cells for donation.
Wow. That's an elaborate process.
It really is, yeah.
It's less intrusive and less invasive than the alternative, which is I would get knocked the fuck out, and then have a needle inserted into my thigh for an hour while they draw out delicious spine jelly.
I mean, that's what I pictured, like a scene not dissimilar from
the
my
knockout
wife getting an epidural when she was pregnant, where they jam a needle in your back.
Yeah, that's what I had envisioned originally.
No, that's not happening to me. They said that they would prefer it if I went through the less invasive method, and I
would totally go for that.
And I was like, gee, let me think about that. Do I want to go for this method, which you're saying is less problematic in every respect, short of time, or do I think I should, should I go against the grain and decide, yeah, take that giant 9-inch nail-sized thing and jam it up my side? Why don't you? I can take it. I'm a strapping young man. Yeah, no.
I choose pain.
Yeah, so that's what's happening. So I had the first round today. I'm not actually having any side effects yet, which I'm quite pleased about. Because they said you can like have like mild pain in your bones or your joints and stuff like that, but I'm not feeling anything at the moment. So
Mild
that means, by
pain
the
in
way,
your bones.
which means, by the way, that if I do suddenly go quiet at any point, I may possibly have passed out.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. No, that's
Send
not.
help.
Please send people to my address. Like, get in contact with Ridian. He's been around here. He knows where I live. He can send some emergency assistance if need be.
Well, before you should on a doctor.
Well, we have a doctor on the chat right now.
Got two.
Not a doctor of any sort. IRL.
He's the fake. He's a fraud.
So
I'm a
Dr. Nick.
I'm a
Hello, everybody.
master,
Hi, everybody.
but not a doctor.
Yeah.
Shoegazer, if I make a prinny, I'll name the prinny after you.
Is it the prinny that we're going to feed it like as bait?
It's the one that will blow up all the time.
Sounds about right. Can I just ask, because I know absolutely nothing about Disgaea. I know that Disgaea is a game, so that's it. Why are they as a tower?
Why am I doing a tower thing?
Why is the... Explain the tower mechanic.
The tower mechanic is, if you have them all stacked together, they all level at the same time. They all get the exact same amount of XP.
Right.
I'm cheaping it. I know how to play this game, so I'm a cheating bastard.
My closest guess would have been that they would have been practicing some sort of motorcycle stuff.
You can actually do, the other reason is I'm trying to level...
I thought you were going to say that they could actually do motorcycle stunts then.
We can actually do stunts from the tower.
Yes! Yes!
Let's see what we got. Tower hamster. Let's have a look at that one.
That's amazing.
Here we go. Okay, so here's the hamster.
I'm watching on delay and mainly through Twitch, so I
Yeah.
have to wait a second.
But yeah, basically the idea is if you stack them all together, they get the same amount of XP, so they all stay around the same level.
Ah, I see.
This is amazing.
You need,
Oh my god.
and you need to level up the tower skill for. You need to level up the tower skill for a particular map at the end of this set.
I'm gonna shed a single tear because that was glorious. That was amazing.
So good.
I have no words for that. Literally.
It's really bad when you think about how long you've been playing Disgaea games for. That's the bad thing. You know all the little tricks.
If you had said, if someone had said to me like that there's an RPG out there where you can damage enemies by turning into a giant hamster wheel, I would have probably reported them.
There we go. That's how we cleared the stage.
Did we lose Shadon?
Maybe.
Uh-oh.
Did he pass out?
Oh no! Radiant!
Did it happen? Where's Radiant?
Huh?
Oh, he's still here. Thank God.
Oh, what happened there?
We thought you died.
You dropped, I think, for a minute.
Oh right. No, I've not dropped dead yet. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint.
Oh wow. To disappoint.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere just yet.
Let's see if I can buy some
Shoegazer,
upgrades.
you can be my butler. I'm okay with that.
Shoegaze is a butler.
He's asked to be my butler. I don't know if he is.
Oh, I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say he's ass.
Oh.
No, Shoegazer literally puts the butt in butler.
Shoegazer's ass. Confirmed. Subtle Doctor confirmed it for me. Shoegazer, your ass.
He's a butt.
He's la butt.
He's a butt who pointed me to good translations of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure comics.
See, that's amazing.
I'm okay with that.
This man gets his point back.
He's redeemed himself somewhat.
He's still he's still a butt.
Yeah.
The most lovable of butts, but a butt nonetheless.
Indeed. I don't even know how to respond to his latest comment. I'll shine your shoes. Like, okay, Shu, if you want to be like, shine your shoes, governor, shine your shoes, then fine. I mean, I always did have him marked as a chimney sweep, to be honest. He did strike me as that kind of kid. But, teach your pets algebra. Now there's a profession with a future ahead of it. They're like, you know, like someone who sells swamp gas.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Don't know, sure. I think you might want to, you know, quit your teaching career
I
ahead
think,
of time.
I think some people might want to rethink their ideas.
Yeah.
Where the fuck do they put that shit?
There's a try button. How does the try button work?
Yeah, shoe's gonna be made a prinny as soon as I make a prinny, but it won't be until later in the game because prinnies at the start suck. There's really no
Can
point.
I ask what is possibly a dumb question?
What's a prinny?
Yeah, yes.
A penguin.
What?
A prinny is a penguin.
Are they better than the penguins from Madagascar?
Yes.
Well, almost new penguins are.
To be fair, the penguins in Madagascar were the only good part of that first.
No, that's true. Totally
when you get to it in the video, you're going to see a penguin with a little bag on.
I mean, the only scene that elicited a real chuckle for me when I watched Madagascar was the scene where they finally arrive in Antarctica, and it's just a long shot of like the four of them, like really tiny, and against the boat, and it's just hail so. And you know full well that the guy who's writing the scripts, like if he had been allowed to write something a bit harder, he would just have to say, "Fuck this shit, I'm going back down south."
Yes, exactly.
That was the best scene of the movie. It was the only good scene.
I'd have paid for that.
Yeah, maybe I should do a fan dub of it.
Yes, you totally should. Also, are the prinnies better than the penguins in Mawaru Penguin Drum?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, are we not familiar with? Okay, so this is a 2011 anime directed by Ikuhara, the guy that directed Revolutionary Girl Utena, and also the Lesbian Bear show that just came out.
Wait. Back the fuck up just one moment. Lesbian Bear show.
Isn't it? Well, let me look it up. What is it called?
No, don't tell me. Lesbian Bear show is enough. I don't need to know anymore. It'll forever. No matter what title you tell me now, no matter how many times you link me to its Mal page or Wikipedia entry or whatever, it's just going to be called Lesbian Bear Show to me. That's all it's going to be.
Yurikoma Arashi. What does that mean?
Is that Japanese for Lesbian Bear Show?
Oh, Lily Bear Storm or Lesbian Bear Storm. Yes.
Lesbian Bear Storm.
Yes.
That sounds like the most amazing druid spell from Dungeons and Dragons that never was.
Sounds like a Disgaea attack.
Lesbian Bear Storm. It's just two bears kissing as they're fired out of a cannon.
But no, Penguin Drum is a great show that should be seen by more people.
Penguin Drum was.
I'm sorry.
The actual released DVDs were terrible.
Yeah, they were. The translation was real bad.
I don't know what they were pulling with that, but I refused to buy it after that. I was just like, wow, how dare you ruin a decent anime with your garbage?
Track down the fan subs, if you can. That will be the way to go for a Penguin Drum.
I actually watched like half of it, and then I thought, oh look, they're gonna release it, so I'll just wait a bit and enjoy it. But no.
It's okay, Gibbs. We'll get over it.
Well, we'll get over it, alright. We'll have a proper go at them later in life.
That's right. Thanks, Sentai.
So, this battle here is you fighting penguins and Santa's anime mate?
Pretty much.
You're killing penguins! You dick!
They're not real penguins, though. They're sinners.
Ah, that's the wing. That's what the wings are for. I see. I see.
They were bad when they were alive. So.
I made a reference to Dungeons and Dragons before, and I think I'm going to have to start. Like, if I ever run a D&D campaign, I'm going to have to start stealing ideas. Like, my campaign will be the invasion of the demonic penguins, or something like that. You know,
the campaign of the Penguin Armada.
Take this.
Unhappy feet.
I've got nothing to use at all.
Wait, someone is named Cocoa Puffs.
Yep. Add the chat, name the characters.
That's brilliant.
Homo erectus. The penguin is named Homo erectus.
Beautiful.
The only penguin I'll have is the one named Shoegazer, I think. I did say that the first person that put a name in got the character named that character.
And true to your word, they did.
And to my word, they sure as hell did.
Even if it is a cross between a terrible BB character and a brand of cereal. Yeah, I went there. Come out there.
You think all those characters are terrible, though?
They're terrible by varying degrees. But there are one or two that I actually like. But bear in mind that's one or two out of many, so...
His favourite character is Noel.
Yes, absolutely, Gibbs. I'm also actually secretly a KGB spy.
I always knew that was a fact.
Well, I wasn't very good at them, was I?
We figured that out a long time ago.
Oh! I actually watched Man from U.N.C.L.E. the other night.
The new one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Arnie Hammer does a very good Russian accent.
Hmm.
And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself.
I might actually have to care.
Oh!
I used to like the Man from U.N.C.L.E. I was afraid of that movie.
No, it's pretty good. I would recommend it if you just want like light-hearted entertainment at the cinema without like.
I'll check it out.
But anyway, so I'm just watching this now. I'm just like, this whole thing where you're murdering all these penguins should be like black and white and set to mournful music. I feel like I should be watching like a charity, like the WWF, not the wrestling, of course. The
yes, we should.
World Wildlife Foundation.
We should all watch World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah, but like the WWF are doing an advert, like saying, donate £2. Your £2 a month can save these priests from being murdered by this JRPG party.
Don't let Laharo kill any more penguins.
No.
Donate 8p a month.
Yep. That was just overkill. You juggled that poor Prinny into the air. Told his mother while you were at it. You just said that, Prinny, to the Netherworld! What the hell? Gibbs, you monster!
Got to play the video game, man.
I bet you have loved Dungeon Keeper. Because you got to murder all the heroes. Actually, I love Dungeon Keeper too.
Dungeon Keeper's the best.
Dungeon Keeper was amazing until then EA decided to basically piss in my cornflakes by making the mobile version that... Like, if there had actually been in Dungeon Keeper 2 the ability, like, of the spells was to make a horrible mobile game to make everyone miserable, then you would have made Dungeon Keeper the mobile game, ironically enough, because it was fucking terrible.
Yeah, didn't they give the good one away for free? It was so bad.
Didn't they get to the point where they said something like, we were too ahead of our time and we'll try this again later?
We were too ahead of our time by
Jesus
just...
Christ.
That's bullshit right there. We were too ahead of our time by introducing, using time mechanics present in every single other mobile game. The only thing that we did to differentiate from anything else was we used the beloved IP from the 90s. Christ, about the only way it could have been worse is if they actually, if Peter Moore just, pushed a small orphan child over on his way out from the office that day.
Well, that's a thing, I guess.
Fucking hell.
I remember that's what Xbox said when they were going to make everyone be always online and no more used games and all that other terrible bullshit.
Don't do this. Don't do this to me, because the last time I remember that conversation, it was that whatever that guy's name was, the guy that was CEO of Xbox before Phil Spencer.
Don Matrick.
Don Matrick, that's the guy. And he was asked the question. The exact question was, what about people that don't have an always-on connection? Oh, there's still the Xbox 360.
We got a console for people.
Yeah,
who
we've got a console for
people. It's called the 360.
It's called be a generation behind, you slags. That was basically the answer.
I guess you weren't ready for our radical new features.
I love how they backtracked on everything now.
Yeah. I guess that they decided that supplying the US military for consoles for their troops for downtime was no longer a part of their game plan. That's not gonna go down well in a in a deeply patriotic country like the US. Yeah. morons. But
job,
at least
I think my favourite part of that was like, oh yeah, we can't remove the Kinect because it's hardwired into the system, and it would take a long time for us to remove. A total of 2 weeks, people. 2 weeks later, the thing was. They were like, oh yeah, you don't need one now.
What are you talking about? We never said that.
that whole conversation was garbage. Those people should be ashamed of themselves or whatever.
Hate those corporate apologies. They're like, we did our job. You just like.
Yeah, you did your job, all right. Jesus.
I don't know. I mean, you could say the same about any number of professions, like I don't know, mass murderer. Merely not a profession, but like, I did my job. I did my duty. Yeah. Just because you're doing your job doesn't mean A, your job is ethically or morally sound, and B, that you're doing it right. Just a thought. And I'm gonna get back onto Dragon Age Inquisition in a bit and just continue plowing my way through it. It's got to the point now when nothing's a challenge anymore. The only thing that's actually challenging is the AI, by which I mean the party AI, because they're all complete retards.
The party AI.
No, I'm serious, Doc. Right?
Get off the crafting table. Get off the crafting table.
No, it gets better than that. So I'm fighting a dragon, right? Because Dragon Age dragons expected, and it's a long and involved boss fight that takes many minutes. So I'm playing my character who's an archer, and I've got the other range guy, my mage, doing to it, shooting the dragon, they're happening normally, and I've got my 2 warriors, they're going to start attacking it. Get down to about just below half health. The next thing I know, my tank, the one arm with the shield, who's supposed to be distracting the dragon, so that way it doesn't eat my other characters, rubber bands back to me and stands there in place, waiting for instructions. What am I doing? So I then all right, fine. I pause. I pick the tank character, order it to go and attack the dragon. What do they do? I'll give you one guess. Fuck all.
I was gonna say.
That was one of those moments where you were waiting for something else, I think. Didn't actually come though. It's just like, what did they do? Fuck all.
Jack and shit left town.
That's right.
Yeah,
oh my god.
We did end up killing it in the end, but it was far more work than was necessary. I mean,
so apart from these issues, do you actually like the game, sort of, or?
It is better than Dragon Age 2, but it is not as good as Origins.
Okay.
And I've gone into details, so I'm going to avoid boring everyone to death by repeating myself. I mean, I do that enough anyway. But no, it's better than. It's an improvement on DA2 by a substantial margin. But then again, that's like saying that, serving someone a shit sundae and then actually giving them proper ice cream next week is an improvement.
Right. Yeah, I've got some friends that hate the shit out of Dragon Age 2.
I hate Dragon Age 2. I like the first one, and Inquisition is okay.
It is on the path to recovery. Like
it's on the path of we're BioWare and we might be trying to go back to normal.
Yeah. So if they continue making improvements, I'm happy with that.
And if they don't, because they're BioWare, then yay.
Remember when BioWare used to be like a word for quality?
Remember when any company's name used to be a word for quality?
Touche.
Does anybody remember when the Nintendo seal of quality actually meant something?
Oh god.
In 1993.
Back in yeah.
Alright,
they used to be proud sticking that on the front of their boxes. Now they stick it on the back.
Stamp of approval.
Yeah,
but,
pretty much.
We've got to ask the question in that case then. Are there any companies, in the video game market that are good at the moment?
Nippon Ichi. Any of the small ones. So we're talking like Nippon Ichi, Compile Heart to a point.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Name any company in the video game market at the moment. If you can name its AAA developer, bonus points, that is actually well liked by its fans.
Does Platinum Games count?
Platinum Games counts on the lower end because they're not AAA.
Okay. They're AA.
Yeah,
they're moving up.
They're like a set of batteries, yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing quite well actually. I mean, everyone was hyped when they started announcing loads of Platinum games like Near Vengeance.
Yeah, yeah,
So
they're
yeah,
working on
uh,
Star Fox
I
randomly.
mean, like, if you were to ask me about, like, maybe Western companies, the only AAA company I can think of that's still doing good is CD Projekt Red.
Yes, very well said, Gibbs.
There you go.
Quote unquote Western, like they're
Quote
far
unquote,
east as you can get.
quote unquote
Best.
Polish.
Right, right.
But they're like
Yeah,
the only one I can think of that are still doing the work.
They were consumer friendly.
Everything else has kind of gone to pot.
Yeah, I can't really think of.
I already did Silent Image. I beat you to it. Ha 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 ha.
Wow, wow, wow.
Because I'm
Well,
good.
maybe Silent Image shouldn't stay so silent.
I'm so good. I'm so good with companies. It's unreal. Any more AAA's?
None are immediately springing. to
Technically from software. Technically,
Yeah, yeah.
but they're not really a AAA. They're kind of between AA and AAA again. I mean, they did get bought by They did get bought by
Bandai Namco.
Kadokawa.
Oh no, Kadokawa.
Well,
Okay.
I'm just gonna go through my library now of like Steam games and see if there's any that stick out to me.
Are you a
Ubisoft,
Bandai Namco
big,
person?
big fat no.
I used to be a Bandai
No,
Namco
no,
person.
Ubisoft.
Oh god. Ugh.
Big fat no. Do Super Giant Games count?
Aren't they?
The guys made Bastion and Transistor.
Producers of
They're,
2 games.
they are like
No.
as indie as you get as well. So
EA
it's
and Dice,
kinda,
no. Irrational Games, no.
No more.
No more.
yeah,
Uh,
Irrational Games are gone. Yeah.
Epic. Wait, who made Borderlands again? Was it Epic Games?
No,
That was Gearbox.
Gearbox.
Gearbox. No, I can't forgive them for tuning forever. They will.
They didn't actually make that game. They tried to fix it.
Well, no, they didn't make that game, but they had more. They didn't take no responsibility for it.
Oh, sure as hell they didn't take any responsibility
Right,
for
let's
it.
see.
That would be
Crisis
something.
is EA, so that doesn't count. Darksiders
Hey,
belongs
tell
to
people.
THQ, who are no more.
Rip.
Rip. Deus Ex, Iron Storm, no more. Deus Ex HR, one of my favourite games from Square Enix, though. So
IDOS.
Eidos, what about Eidos?
That's how IDOS make the Human Revolution game.
Are they
publisher
well
was
liked?
Square Enix.
Square,
Are they
right?
well? Are Eidos well liked?
Not
I don't think they realise they exist anymore.
Not these days. Definitely not.
Let's see who else. Dishonored, which was
Pretty good.
arca- Yeah. Doom, which means id Software. Like they barely even exist anymore in my mindset.
It
Last-
kind of
last
killed
anime was
themselves with Rage. Rage
Yeah.
is an
Rage
idea.
was awful.
No,
Rage was
Rage as an idea was fantastic. Rage as a game was trash.
I traded that in after an hour's play. In fact,
I got through it. I got through it on the Xbox.
fun story for you here, right? So I bought Rage, and I played it, and I got an hour in, and I absolutely had no motivation to continue because the story was non-existent. I mean, I don't mind a non-existent story. I mean, take Doom for Christ's sake. But the Doom had amazing gameplay. Still has amazing gameplay. Rage was boring. It was boring in every respect.
All right, I've got one. I've got a dev that is well liked and has made.
Well, get this right. Get this right. So I trade Rage in, and I take with me 2 other games to trade in as well.
Oh no.
One of them is BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, and the other one is BlazBlue Continuum Shift. Because by this point I
okay.
extend. So if you trade out, would you believe me if I told you that I got more money for Continuum Shift than I did for Rage?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I also point out that this was actually only a week after Rage came out?
That's horrible.
How that works, I don't know.
Because the game was worth jack all. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Elder Scrolls Bethesda?
I was gonna say Bethesda, and I was gonna say Blizzard.
The thing about Bethesda is
Blizzard.
nothing against our good man Todd Howard, but Bethesda games aren't video games. They are tech demos and sandboxes, which are made for people to extend, not for the company to extend.
Sharp intake of breath.
Get a surprise.
I'm being literal. There you
Gibbs.
go. Yeah, it happened. Kill me.
Gibbs.
Yep.
Well, to be fair, I myself am not a gigantic Bethesda fan, but I do I like their games. I think they're fun, and they're mostly well made, buggy, but mostly
Yes,
well made.
they're about as buggy as they can get.
Depending on when you buy them, they're well made.
Yes, well, by well, I mean,
and they're always
they're
very,
trying,
and they're always
they're really
incomplete.
trying to give something,
They're
an
always
experience that no other developer will give, and as a logical consequence, there will be bugs.
Can I just point out that if Bethesda were a car manufacturer, they would sell you the car minus the wheels, and then only give you the wheels 6 months later.
Well, lucky they're not a car manufacturer.
Very true. Very true, but still not. I'm still not wrong on that point. But yeah, so let's see. Let's keep going through this list. Right, more Fallout games. No. Far Cry 3. That's Ubisoft, so that's a big fat no. Vice City. Rockstar.
Yes, still well liked.
Rockstar with GTA 5 kind of got some flack for those money cards, and that was
and
about
also
it.
for the issues with the online as well.
The online, they fixed it now, and
They fixed it.
the PC version with the first-person mode is supposed to be quite good.
Yeah.
But I think by and large the fans are still on board. Like they have some pretty devoted fans.
Well, given how many copies they've sold alone, that
Yeah,
speaks
for
volumes,
sure.
I'd say. Valve.
Yes.
Valve don't have fans anymore. What Valve have are devotees to an idea,
Customers.
which is a shame. Valve should have made a new game by now, but they could.
I was gonna say they're so invested in a
I
platform.
wonder what game they could have potentially made.
They've gone. The thing is, right? Valve have gone mad. Valve have become what I like to call the services company. So now what they do is they offer you Steam and Dota, and that is it. And Dota is a service as well.
It is. It's a market.
That is, yeah.
It's no longer about making like their single. I mean, like you're never gonna get another. We're never getting another Half-Life. Look at that. If they wanted to make Half-Life, it would have been out ages ago.
Yeah. Although at least I'm glad that they've never announced they're making it rather than doing the Duke Nukem problem of, oh, we're making it 12 years later.
Well, the funny thing is, they announced it years ago. They actually did. But they announced it at the time that they announced that they were making Half-Life 2 Episode 3. And Half-Life 2 Episode 3 never came out either, so...
Oh well. Let's see, what else is on my list? I think I've actually gone through every, because I've got more games, of course, but I think all developers have already been listed. There is LucasArts, but they're no longer existing.
No,
so,
I think Blizzard deserves to be on there. They're very well liked.
Blizzard kinda deserve to be on there, other than the fact that Chris Metzen is probably the worst game writer in the history of video games right now.
I don't think Blizzard's writing is awful so much as it is just uninspired.
It's gotten to the point where that guy still thinks his stories are revolutionary, but he's really writing nothing new.
No, they're not great.
They're very standard.
Yes.
Very standard.
The guy thinks he's still putting out
maybe that's all
quality material. That's the weirdest thing.
I mean, I will credit them this. I like StarCraft 1's story. It wasn't anything spectacular, but at least there were things actually happening. There was betrayal, you know, that stuff like that. So that was neat. But they've never been anything spectacular.
No. They create interesting worlds, but what happens in those worlds is less interesting.
That is very true. That is very
The thing is, they're really doing themselves a disservice by having Warcraft still as their main thing. They should have made something new by now.
Well, they are putting Overwatch out, which I suspect they'll probably monetize quite heavily in various ways, like skins. And
I'm
stuff.
expecting that to happen. To be
And
fair,
they're doing Heroes of the Storm. They've been updating Diablo 3 pretty regularly, and the Diablo people seem pretty happy with what they're doing.
Yeah, I've given credit for this. All the stuff they've released for Diablo 3, you bought the expansion, but then you have to pay for any of the patches that followed, which added additional content, which was neat. At least I prefer that method of business. I would love to go back to the old days of expansion packs, full expansions, rather than what we have now.
as long as we don't have horse armor, it's fine.
Horse armor.
And I give them credit as well for taking the effort to make Diablo 3 actually work on consoles. Because those consoles
I bought
really good.
I bought the PS4 version just purely for the fun of it. I was like, let's just grab that.
And they really, they didn't have to. They could have just, done a shit port and be like, whatever. But they really made it work.
They tried, yeah. And bear in mind, Blizzard hadn't really done console stuff. Well, they had in the very far-flung past when they were originally what was it, like SNES, was it?
They had plans to make
Yes,
a
the Lost
first-person
Vikings.
shooter based as a spin-off to StarCraft.
Oh, StarCraft
Oh,
Ghost,
yes,
but then they
Ghost.
axed that because
Yeah, Ghost.
StarCraft-
Yep.
but they axed it because they didn't feel so. And I have to applaud them. To cancel
They
the
axed it
budget,
because they didn't
invested-
actually understand how to make a shooter.
Which is fine. At least they did. At least they had the humility to say, no, this is going to be shy. Let's not actually finish it. Unlike a myriad of other companies I could fucking name that have released some absolute drivel. At least they admitted that. At least they were honest about it. Also, Firaxis, makers of Enemy Unknown.
Ah, yes.
Firaxis are really hit and miss though. They're obviously owned by the guy that owns
2K.
Yeah, no, not 2K. They're published by 2K. They're owned by Sid Meier,
Oh right.
the guy
of course
behind.
of course they are. Silly me.
And Sid Meier's games recently have been trash. The guy's not doing any good work.
I really miss Alpha Centauri. Alpha Centauri was incredible.
It's amazing how they used to make his company before he owned Firaxis used to make really good games.
Yeah.
They were like over the top. He knew what people wanted. These days he doesn't do any of it. He's just kind of putting out mobile phone game here or there. Obviously there are still games that he works on, but the new Civilization is terrible. That's me being kind of nice about it.
At least he's not Peter Molyneux.
Okay, Molyneux's a lost cause. I wrote an article with a friend, probably a decade back now, where we said that Peter Molyneux, the only thing about Peter Molyneux is he's the man who likes to talk. So his nickname was the well-spoken man from that point out.
I'll say this of Peter Molyneux: he is an incredible salesman.
He's an incredible jackass.
But let me point this out: a salesman is not a game developer.
No.
The thing is, that guy developed games, and during a time when, to be completely fair, you weren't, he didn't have any of the stuff you have now. He doesn't understand the current landscape, let alone how to make a video game.
Nope. Peter Molyneux is basically Western Hideo Kojima with a couple of mild differences, like the fact that.
Well, that's harsh on Kojima.
That is very harsh, actually, and I feel bad for saying that, especially given what the poor guy's been through.
Kojima's having the worst time.
I know. You know what? I'm still stunned by the fact that Metal Gear 5 Phantom Pain is going to be such a success. It's going to be a surefire hit.
Yes.
Well, I've got it pre-ordered. I'm streaming it as of day one, so.
I'm gonna get it pre-ordered once I get paid next week, but I'm probably not gonna stream it. I'm gonna get it with Ground Zeroes because I haven't actually played Ground Zeroes. It says I have a new PC, might as well. But if someone were to say to me that Ground Zeroes would ship over 10 million copies within like a year, not Ground Zeroes, sorry, Phantom Pain, I would say you would probably be correct. It's gonna make mega bucks. It's gonna be incredibly successful. Do I need to? If you follow him on Twitter, you've probably seen a lot of pictures of. Like, all of the merchandise that's going with it, like, especially clothing lines. Now, I defy you to name me a franchise, with the exception of Mass Effect, where they've sold, like, a lot of clothing lines. Possibly Assassin's Creed, maybe. But those, neither of those...
Call of Duty. Call of Duty sells shirts.
What? Why would you buy a Call of Duty t-shirt?
I mean, I've never done it, but I've seen them displayed.
Yeah, I remember that I can't remember what conference it was from, but they were doing a gameplay trailer where they like did a close-up of one of Snake's fucking shoes. Like, oh, we're partnering with a shoe company and we're gonna sell this. Now, here's my point: when you've got a franchise with the basically the clout to be able to sell clothing like that, like that's a franchise I think you would want to cultivate and treat with respect. Then Konami came along.
Well, to me, right, Konami should have used the Konami code on themselves years ago and got themselves sorted out. So somebody put that Konami code in already and get them to
give them infinite lives.
No. What the Konami code does is it removes all the old fuckers, so they can actually get back to business instead of sitting there going, "Where's the monies?"
I'll go on Ben that right. When Kojima leaves Konami, as is unfortunately inevitably will happen, I really want to imagine that he's going to spend all that time he's spent making Metal Gear Solid to do a infiltration mission into their headquarters, and he breaks into this company safe with the Konami code because someone's an idiot and decides to use that as the actual code for the safe and robs them of all of their assets. I'm just hoping. I mean, he's built enough stealth games now to know how stealth works.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? I'm getting Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear, but the games have got stupider and stupider each one. The man's been writing like a psycho.
Yes.
He has been writing like an absolute psycho.
He's wanted to stop making them since the first one.
Yeah, he's been kind of forced to continue.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, from my perspective on Metal Gear, like, after 2, you then had 3. And 3 was a prequel, and it was a really damn good prequel. I mean, for the criteria for a prequel is, don't contradict existing lore, but then, like, you know, let's view things a little differently. Like, once you met Ocelot as a young man, and you see him, like, you know, watching Snake get tortured, it then causes you to look back at the torture scene you do in MGS1 in a different way. Because you now have more knowledge of that. So I think that's where it enhanced that experience retroactively. But then you have the flip side of things, where you go on to Metal Gear Solid 4, and he's just overly burdened with existing continuity. Like, if you've ever like played MGS4, you probably remember Act 3, where you meet Eva, when she's like an old lady, and she delivers what I think, if you by weight, is about 10 metric tons of exposition, to the point where there's actually a save point in the middle.
In the middle.
There's a save point in between, like, it splits into 2 cutscenes, and there's a save point in the middle before another 10-minute, like, tirade, like, monologue of crap just comes along, and all it is just David Hayter going, like, repeating, like, you know, that Solid Snakes thing, where he just goes, Metal Gear gave birth?
This is it. You won't get away this time.
Like, if you just said to Snake, hey Snake, would you like a donut? He would just go, donut? Like,
exclamation
seriously.
point.
Yeah, what's a donuts? But
the best Metal Gear might be Metal Gear Rising.
Metal Gear Rising, I really like. I have a friend of mine who is really into Metal Gear, but he's into it because he, like, for example, likes the postmodern ideas behind MGS2, and that's fair play to him. If that's his interpretation of it, he's welcome to it, and I don't disagree with him. Like, I think there are some excellent, like, undertones there, maybe unintended, admittedly, but I'm not Hideo Kojima, and he's not sat here in my room right now, thank Christ. So I can't ask him in the flesh. But the thing is that he really did not like Rising because he felt it actually disrespected the series. Now the thing was, that's his opinion, and he's welcome to that. But I had to say to him, look, John being his name, you're, like, you know, worried about the fact that he's, like, throwing Metal Gear rays into the air and stuff. Did I remind you that in Metal Gear Solid 4, which Kojima wrote, that he stopped a boat?
Yep.
He stopped a boat.
Yep.
And, like, anything that happens in Rising, anything at all, does not compare to that. Right, that was
after
basically
4, everything is fair game.
Yeah, that was.
Well, Metal Gear 4 to me was half a game, half a movie.
Yeah.
You sort of like played a bit, and then by the end you had more cutscenes than.
Yeah,
than,
it was best in the first 2 acts, and also Act 4 was pretty good, but 3 and 5 were not great.
Metal Gear 1, still my favorite. Metal Gear 3, amazing game. Anything
Metal
else, a bit of a mixed bag.
3 is my personal favourite. I admire 2 as a work of art, inverted commas, but as a game it's somewhat lacking. 1 is still, of course, incredible. And 4, and Rising's Rising. I don't think Rising's
so good.
Rising's a special game. That's the way I like to put it.
Special's a good word for it.
It's because it's different,
very special.
and because it's different, it gets away with being what it is. Plus, Platinum did do good work.
Yeah, it was
terrible. Like, if Metal Gear, if each of those is a Hollywood movie, then Rising is the terrible / amazing cult hit made for cable TV movie.
Yes, it is.
And it's great.
You're entirely
The only
correct.
problem is Raiden's still the worst piece of shit in gaming.
the thing is, you're not meant to take him seriously in Rising, which I think helps. Because you're meant to take him super fucking serious in 2. Like, Jack, why do you have nothing in your room? Why do you have no posters? No, nothing. Oh, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? But anyway, so, like, I think, like, with 4, like, Kojima was too buried in continuity, so it just became very hammy. I'm curious to see what will happen in Phantom Pain. I will say this, though, having spent a lot of time, like, watching his Twitter and seeing how many times he seems to be quite fond of Breaking Bad, if it turns out that as Big Boss Snake you can drive an RV through the desert of Afghanistan and then you just fucking pick up a Jesse lookalike and then you send him on missions.
There's a meth making minigame.
It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. I'm gonna be basically counting the Breaking Bad references throughout, or at least like the things that make me think Breaking Bad, because he's a big fan of that. He's also a big fan of Mad Max, but mainly that came like Phantom Pain and Mad Max came out recently, so I don't know how much Mad Max is going to be in it. But it would be pretty amusing to see, like, you know, Big Boss Snake, like, you know, doing a sort of like driving mini game against like the bad guys from Mad Max or something.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, the bad guy from the most recent Mad Max movie, which is fucking great, by the way, if you told me he was a Metal Gear Solid villain, I'd believe you.
Don't push yourself.
He's got that special blend of crazy and that look as well.
I need to see that movie.
You do, because it is, like, is just about 100 minutes of pure awesome. I had to change my pants on the way home. It was that good.
That's what everyone tells me. I'm looking forward to it.
Bring pants.
I had to do that for Iron Man 2, but for a different reason.
Which film?
Iron Man 2.
I did not like that film.
No, that movie was shit. You had to go for one after it was done.
Ah, fair play, Mecca, fair play. Well, I'll tell a lie. There were some moments of brilliance in Iron Man 2, but they were fleeting moments against a cavalcade of shit. Just like pure slurry. I mean, I could go on for hours about the problems with that film, but I won't do that because I'll just bore everyone to death. But,
so, Kojima's name, is it going to be on Metal Gear 5 anywhere?
No. No, his company's gone.
Sad.
His company's gone. What's the answers here? Kojima Productions is now called Konami LA. His name has been ripped off the boxes, including all of the old ones. If you buy the old ones now, like the HD remaster, his name is not on there.
Well, I have to ask, guys. Like, let's just look at this from Konami's shoes for a moment. And admittedly, that is incredibly difficult because, you know, it's not easy stepping in Satan's own footwear. But anyway, my point is this: what purpose does that serve? Is it copyright? Is it legal? I'm really not sure.
His company was completely funded by Konami, and they can do whatever the hell they want.
It's a big middle finger.
That is so incredibly petty that it just seems...
Yeah.
The only reason he even got his own company was because he was literally their money man.
He was their money man. Metal Gear Solid 2 sold over 10 million units. It shipped that many. And it's still one of the most beloved franchises on the in PlayStation's history. But
it made them in many ways.
Yeah, I just don't understand the logic behind why you would do that. I mean, if there was a legalistic reason to it, I would still be unhappy about it, but at least I'd have some rationale for why you've done it.
If I was to go through why I think it happened, it's quite simple. For a long time, Kojima's been more of a backseater. In other words, he's been more of a consultant than a developer. And I think now he really is just considered a consultant.
Yeah. I think Snake's Japanese voice actor, or Serio, or however you pronounce it, whatever that word is, he said that they had actually been basically put onto contracts, and then of course once the game was released, the contract would end. Which is a crying shame. I will say this: I do think that Kojima, if he retired now, he'd probably retire quite happily and quite comfortably. I think he'd be very well off. But to like compare maybe apples to oranges somewhat, but I'm going somewhere with this. If any of you, of course, are familiar with Top Gear, You all, of course, know about the fracas that happened with Jeremy Clarkson.
Yep.
Now, of course, Jeremy Clarkson and Hideo Kojima are not anyway in the same situation as far as like how they came about it. Because Jeremy Clarkson decided he'd punch a man for a minor clerical error, which is complete horseshit. Whereas Kojima's just basically on the receiving end of corporate bullshit. But my point is this. Clarkson, because of his personality and his fan base, has basically landed on his feet. Because he and Hammond and May have now, of course, got a new TV show coming on along with Amazon Prime, car-related, as you'd expect. And I think that in a similar fashion, once this is all over, Kojima would be able to find work elsewhere if he felt so inclined. Maybe that might actually be good for him, because he wouldn't have to necessarily work on Metal Gear anymore. But that's... I mean, he has expressed interest about working with Guillermo del Toro. Alright, oh, Doc's going, so catch you later, Doc.
Later, dude.
Yeah, see you guys later. It was fun.
Have fun, man. Can't we talk about what's happening in the game? We can if you want.
I know nothing about Disgaea, so unfortunately I'm having to resort to other topics. Sorry, Blank. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna head off in about 5 minutes anyway, so I can continue with DAI. But yeah, I think like with Kojima, like if he wanted to find work elsewhere with a different company, I mean, can you imagine like having him as a consultant working for Platinum, for example? The relationship already exists.
I could imagine he would work for Platinum if he had to work for somebody.
I reckon that would actually work out really well. I reckon that could be good for him. And as I say, not having to deal with Metal Gear anymore might be a good thing for him. So we'll see anyway. I don't think he's ultimately going to be be out of pocket or anything like that. But it is a shame how this has all come about. Like you'd think like because he did keep saying that he wanted to end Metal Gear, but the way that Metal Gear has ended is not through artistic intent, but through, you know, corporate decision making, which is horrible. It's not the way it should be, quite frankly. So anyway, I'm done ranting now. Anyway, I'm done. So there we go. Right, I think what I might do actually is rather than do DAI, I might go and play some Xrd for a bit if I can.
Find somebody.
Yeah, good fucking luck with that.
Use the website, man.
I will. I'll just put a lobby out or something on it. So, but anyway, catch you all later.
Cool, man. Have fun.
I intend to. Cheerio.
Bye bye.
As soon as we're ready. To the rebirth of the Netherworld by us, the Krachevskoy Group.
So here we go, chapter 3, episode 3, whatever you want to call it.
Episode 3, the Netherworld's
I think Street Fighter 5 was having issues earlier, so I left it alone. I knew it was up though.
The Krachevskoy Group?
That's right, dude! They're a group who won't accept a new overlord unless that overlord is as good as King Krachevskoy, dude! That Grosso guy is like one of their leaders, dude!
What an idiot. No demon is as good as King Krachevskoy.
Actually, there is someone even better, and he's standing right in front of you.
Sorry, Prince. I guess my eyes are really tired.
People still really look up to Daddy, huh? It sure seems like it. His son hasn't been as fortunate. But Big Brother is the Overlord, right? He took over Daddy's throne, right? Well, in his case, he just overpowered every other demon who was after him and claimed the title of Overlord through force. Which is why a lot of demons aren't happy with the situation.
I see.
I think the podcast is over, Shoegazer.
Then how did Daddy become such a respected Overlord? I don't know.
So you know where his base is?
Yes, sir, dude!
Okay, get ready to attack. This time, I'll bring him to his knees and show him who the real Overlord is.
Aye, aye, dude!
Well, people want me to play Street Fighter 5, I can give it a go if you want. There's no guarantee we'll get in though. Probably won't. There we go. No dogs, just play Sand Run. You actually want me to play Sand Run again. Good God. Okay, since I don't make monster types, let's do something random.
Uncomfortable.
I'll let you see me on Street Fighter. See, I don't mind switching, but it depends if it works. Because I've got to switch console for that, and that's hell. I don't play Bison. I play Ryu. Right, okay, I'll give it a go. Let's see what it does. If I'm switching, I'll be RB. Need to turn off everything.